Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of the City Council after, 3, 4, 5 weeks of vacation. I hope everybody had fun during their vacation time. It is a pleasure for me once again to welcome you in our own city of North Miami. Let the record reflect that it is 7:12. Our meeting shall begin. First, let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Monica Frederick from our own pal. And then Reverend Joan Brookin, our pastor, will come for the invocation.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance by placing your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Remain standing. We're going for the invocation.
Amen. Let us bow our heads in prayer. God, our creator of heaven and earth and of us all, we come to thank you for this new day in which we've never seen before. We come to thank you for life, health, and strength. We thank you for giving us a chance to come together on the behalf of your people and the city. I pray that our minds meet tonight, that we will put you first. Give your people tonight, dear God in heaven, the inspiration as they share what is on their hearts. Move freely amongst your people, dear Lord. Bless us north, east, south, and west. Bless each and every one financially, spiritually, emotionally, and in every aspect of their lives. Now, Lord, I ask that you just go with us tonight, God. I ask that you move throughout this room. I ask that you touch in a way, God, that your people will be put first. So now I just thank you, I praise you, I glorify you, I magnify you and lift you up, for you're worthy to be praised, for there's no one like you anywhere that can do what you do. So just have your way tonight. And we thank you in advance for what you're getting ready to do. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen. So this meeting is called to order on this August 27, 2013. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Tundro.
Here.
Vice Mayor Steril.
Here.
Councilman Galvin.
Here.
Councilman Bieneme.
Here.
Councilwoman Keys.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, is there any addition, deletion, amendment to the agenda?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Welcome back from our summer hiatus. I respectfully request that tab H, dealing with the amending Chapter 29 of the Land Development Regulation, and also tab Q, dealing with a comprehensive plan, be removed at the applicant's request. Just shortly before the council meeting started, they want additional time for preparation. So I respectfully request that tabs H and Q be removed from the agenda.
Thank you.
Also, Mayor, if I could, we do have in one of our presentations on tab J, if we, after the consent agenda, if we could have tab J, that requires, it's a resolution dealing with our sewer, sanitation and sewer master plan. If the gentleman that came in from out of town could do the presentation and take that item out of
You want to remove it?
Yes, I'd like to move it to after the consent agenda.
From the consent agenda, is that correct?
No, he's moving it.
After the consent
After
agenda.
After the consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask that tabs E as in elephant and F as in Frank be removed from the consent agenda for general discussion.
We're not there yet. We need to do special presentation. Do you mind waiting?
Madam Mayor, I
We-
also have a question about the agenda, since we're talking about
We're
the
not
agenda.
talking about the agenda now. We have to do special presentation,
Okay.
and then we can go ahead and continue. Before we do our special presentation, I would like to inform you that our former city manager, Mr. Clarence Patterson, passed away last Saturday. On behalf of the council, we would like to present our sympathy to his family, and we will keep you posted as of funeral arrangements are being made. Mr. Patterson was the city manager here, and he also has been a city manager for the city of Miami, waste management for many, many years. He was the one as well who invented the new system that we have to pick up trash in our city. Mr. Patterson has been very active. I have saw him last during the elections, and unfortunately he's no longer with us. I think at this time we need to celebrate his life and his accomplishment, and we will keep you posted once again for the funeral of Mr. Patterson. Now, can we all move to a special presentation? Mr. Clerk, would you join us as well, please? Okay. Our first presentation, it will be in proclamation in honor of National Water Month. We would like to present it to Mr. Alim Ghani from Public Works, our Public Works Director. We're gonna start, we're not gonna read it all. We said, whereas National Water Quality Month is being promoted by the Public Works Department to help increase community awareness of the city of North Miami's most precious natural resource. And whereas National Water Quality Month also primarily focuses on drinking water standards to protect the health of the public by regulating the level of waterborne contaminants in drinking water. And therefore, in consideration of the foregoing, I, Lucie M. Tondreau, Mayor of the City of North Miami, on behalf of the City Council and residents, do hereby proclaim August 2013 to be National Water Quality Month in the City of North Miami, and urge all residents to recognize and celebrate National Water Quality Month that serves as a significant gateway to water quality issues that directly correlates to a sound and thriving economy. This 27th day of August 2013.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Together with what the mayor just said, I just want to mention to all the residents of North Miami, in commemoration of this month, the City of North Miami also sent out what is called the CCR, Consumer Confidence Report, which is a report on the water quality in the City of North Miami. And it's fortunate that the City of North Miami actually won the best water quality or best water contest in Miami-Dade and Monroe County. And this report has a lot of good information on our water quality and the quality of our drinking water supply system, which comes from the Biscayne Aquifer. So all the residents in North Miami has got a copy of this through the mail, and there's a lot of information. I encourage each one of you to actually read it. There's a lot of information in there. Thank you.
This proclamation is very important to us and dear to us, especially those of us who have fought for so many years against racism, those of us who have come to this country to seek freedom, those of us who understand the meaning of racism. We, unfortunately, will not be able to be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow for the 50th anniversary, on the March on Washington. We have prepared a proclamation to present to the head of NAACP, Mrs. Adora Obinweze, a longtime friend. Although we still have a long way to go in this country with a black president, we are not there yet. And in our own city, we have witnessed last week the threats that we are getting because we are a community that is coming too black and too Hispanic. So tomorrow we'll mark a very important passage of that 50th anniversary that our leaders back then have done. We need to continue to march. We cannot stop marching. The 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, D.C., whereas the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom on August 28, 1963, was organized by civil rights, labor, and religious groups and brought together over 250,000 people in Washington, D.C. in support of promoting equal rights and justice for all Americans. And whereas the March on Washington specifically called for civil economic rights for African American as well as the economical disenfranchised and was the catalyst for the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And whereas the March on Washington also celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, the executive order issued by President Abraham Lincoln that freed the slaves living in the United States not under Union rule. And whereas at the March on Washington, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. proclaimed his famous "I Have a Dream" speech promoting hope, social liberty, and racial equality. And whereas the city of North Miami proudly commemorates the monumental achievement of the 1963 March on Washington and resolutely declares our city's commitment and determination to continue pursuing the goals of social justice and racial harmony, and so eloquently espoused by Dr. King Jr. I Have a Dream speech. And whereas the city of North Miami recognizes that the quest for justice and equality continues to echo and evolve, and the city of North Miami dutifully pledges to be a steadfast champion of freedom, and to quote Dr. King, will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. And whereas the mayor of the city and council of the city of North Miami do hereby recognize August 28, 2013 as the official memorial of the 50th anniversary of the 1963 the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, and that the toils of the organizers and participants of the March on Washington will not be forgotten and will continue to serve as an inspiration and beacon of hope. Now, therefore, in consideration of the foregoing, I, Lucy M. Tondreau, Mayor of the City of North Miami, on behalf of the City Council and residents, do hereby proclaim August 28 to be the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington Day in the City of North Miami, and urge all citizens to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of the March on Washington in our community.
Thank you, Mayor. I really want to say to the City Commission and to each of you here today that you have no idea what a humbling experience this is. I have never known any city to stand up and recognize the efforts of those of us who have been fighting over the years, who stood there not only in 1963, but been standing for a long time. And this city reflects that our work has not been in vain. Because of the work, you are here. And I couldn't be more proud. And so it is with a great deal of pride that I accept this on behalf of all of us who continue to work to make this place a better place for everybody who wants to come and be with us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We have a certificate of recognition to two of our students from the National Junior Olympics. The two participants, Cameron Gilles and Jasmine Delavaux. Our children keep making us proud, and it is with great pleasure I am doing this today. The City of North Miami recognizes Cameron Gilles, North Miami Track Club, for your participation at the U.S. Track and Field National Junior Olympic Championship. Congratulations on your accomplishment in the 80-meter hurdlers competition. We wish you continued success in our athletic goals. Thank you. Cameron? Same thing for Jasmine. It's amazing to see Cameron Gilles, Jasmine Delavaux. It sounds French to me. To you as well, Jasmine, the City of North Miami recognizes Jasmine Delavaux, North Miami Track Club, for your participation at the USA Track and Field National Junior Olympic Championship. Congratulations on your accomplishments in the shot put thrower. Why don't I do this? Competition. We wish you continued success in your athletic goals on this 27th day of August 2013.
Good afternoon. Coach Beswick, on behalf of the USA Track and Field, I'd like to also give them a presentation for the certificate of participation at the Junior Olympic. This one is for Jasmine. And also for Cameron for his participation on behalf of USA Track and Field, participation certificate.
And that concludes our special presentation for today. Back. Our city events, Mr. Manager.
Madam Mayor, we invite Pam Solomon to provide our city announcements.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to share with you a few of our upcoming events for as we end the month of August and head into the month of September. Our North Miami Police Department is hosting orientation for the Citizens Mobile Patrol Program. One session is actually taking place this evening, and there is another session taking place this Saturday, August 31st, from 9 to 11 a.m. at the North Miami Police Department, located at 700 Northeast 124th Street. It's a few doors down from City Hall. We invite you to become a volunteer, serve your community by joining the Citizens Mobile Patrol Program. You will learn through the orientation about law enforcement while keeping your community safe. The program provides citizens with an active means to make a difference in the community, increase cooperation between the citizens and the North Miami Police Department, and you are engaged in the daily operations of the police department. So for more information, please contact the North Miami Police Department Community Services section by dialing 305-891-0294, extension 23211. Once again, that's the Citizens Mobile Patrol Program orientation this Saturday, August 31st from 9 to 11 a.m. Also, just a reminder, North Miami's administrative offices will be closed this Friday, August 30th, due to employee furlough, and this coming Monday, September 2nd, which is the Labor Day holiday. On Saturday, September 7th, we have a family fun night event at Griffin Park, hosted by the Parks and Recreation Department. Griffin is located at 12220 Griffin Boulevard, at the intersection of West Dixie Highway and Northeast 123rd Street. We invite you to come out, meet your neighbors for a fun evening at the park, enjoy music, live DJ music, bounce houses, face painting, lots of children's activities, and we will be featuring an outdoor movie, The Avengers, at sundown. All the activities begin at 6 p.m. Once again, that's Saturday, September 7th, Family Fun Night featuring outdoor movie, The Avengers. Also, as we are getting back into the school year, we have our North Miami Parks and Recreation Department offers year-round programming for children, teens, and adults. We invite you to fall into fun with the North Miami Parks and Recreation Department, which offers swim lessons, ballet classes, soccer, league for ages 3 to 10, and a whole host of other programs. Visit northmiamifl.gov/parks for all of the details, or you may contact the North Miami Parks and Recreation Department at 305-895-9840. We also have launched our after-school care and tutoring program for grades K through 8. If you as parents at home or here in the audience have yet to make those arrangements for after school for your children, we offer 2 locations, Sunkist Grove Community Center and Griffin Center. We're open Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 p.m. throughout the school year, following the Miami-Dade County Public School calendar. For the price of $20 per week, you will receive enrichment activities, homework time, tutoring, swimming, games, and a host of other activities throughout the afternoon and evening. Once again, you may contact the Parks and Recreation Department, 305-895-9840 for more information. Also, the North Miami Public Library offers free community programs throughout the year. One of those programs is free Tai Chi every Thursday evening from 6:30 to 7:15. You can visit the North Miami Public Library at 835 Northeast 132nd Street, or log on to northmiamifl.gov/NoMi Library. That's NoMi Library. Thank you.
Thank you. Hurricane preparedness.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we all know, the hurricane season starts on June 1st and ends on November 30th. So as today we are halfway through the hurricane season. North Miami, as a satellite EOC to Miami-Dade County, we have done the following in preparation to respond to any hurricane or disaster. We have reviewed our EOP, Emergency Operation Plan. We have trained the emergency staff to respond and to get used and understand the emergency roles. And we continue to educate our emergency staff in the IIS classes. That's all we have done up to date, and we're in compliance with Dade County EOC as it is to prepare for the hurricane season.
We have not had any hurricanes yet. Are we expecting any?
We hope not to have any. We're not expecting any, but we are prepared.
Prepared.
It happen.
Wonderful. Thank you. Progress update 2013 City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, we invite Mr. Kareth Fiddler, our Assistant Public Works Director. This is regarding the funds that have been allocated from the Biscayne Landing Capital Improvement Projects.
Good evening. I'm going to give you guys an update on Progress 2013. The additional $50,000 that was allocated for sidewalks, that's the sidewalk repairs have been completed. Northeast 142nd Street alley wall fence has begun. The estimated completion time is about 4 weeks. North Bayshore Park deck replacement. We expect to have the analysis report of the pilings completed this week. The roofing program has begun. The first round of roofs has been completed. We've assigned additional roofs to the contractors. That's going to be an ongoing project until we have approximately about 60 homes that we're doing. And that's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's it? No more? No more update?
That's it,
That's
Mayor.
it for the updates. Okay, very
Yes.
good. All right.
And Mayor, before you begin the citizens forum, tab, and I would imagine Councilwoman Keys will get to that. Tab S is going to be removed but yet replaced, but at the appropriate time, I'll let Councilwoman Keys make mention of that as to what that item would be.
Which tab you said tab S?
Tab
Will
S.
be removed but replace?
Yes.
What do you mean by remove and replace?
Well, it's Councilwoman Key's request that tab S, she was the sponsor of this item, to be removed, but in its place, there's a discussion item that she wanted to bring to the forefront.
Councilwoman, you want to enlighten us on this, please?
I had requested from the manager an add-on item. It's somewhat of an emergency. The state of Florida is looking to surplus 150 acres of our mangrove wetlands between Biscayne Landing and FIU.
Okay.
And it's really a bad idea. I was alerted to this by the Tropical Audubon Society. I believe the executive director will be here to speak. If not, I have something. But it's something we need to discuss because it's really a disaster for our city. And so I was going to add it as an add-on. And I was going to remove tab S because we did have such a long agenda. I thought I would just table that to a later time. I also had asked to move another item. I don't know if this is the time to table another item, if this is the time to discuss that. We were talking about tab P, which is our attorney's proposed ordinance of amending Chapter 2. I apologize. I appreciate it. I have been requesting when this is going to come around, but there were so many items that there was so much in-depth reading and watching. I did not have time to adequately study this, so I appreciate it, but I really would like some time to not even vote on it for first reading. I'd like to be able to study it in its completion to give it justice.
But bear in mind, it's on your first reading. I don't
understand.
see where the problem is.
Because I'm not ready to even make any comments to it on the first reading.
Madam
I can't vote yes or no for it because I just haven't had time to read it.
P.
There are items in there that I don't necessarily agree with. I want to be able to go back and compare it to the original ordinance and in my mind, think about it and see if we have anything else. And if we have the first reading, I can't realistically vote yes for it if I'm not familiar with it and understand it.
Let me ask the city attorney. Madam City Attorney, your take on this?
Yes. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Councilwoman Keyes' request for tab P to be removed from the agenda. Is this such a big deal that it requires another 2 or 3 weeks of reflections?
So I did discuss this with you, Councilwoman Keyes, if you recall, a couple of times with respect to updating the code.
Discuss it, but I appreciate it, and it's really important, and that's why I want to give it time to read it and study it. I just haven't had time to do that. I mean, we get these on Friday. We got this, well, late Thursday night, and we had so many other important issues that we've been dealing with that were of a priority, and I just really did not have time to read it. So I cannot do justice, and I can't vote yes on something I don't understand. And rather than do that and hassle you, I'd rather be able to read it and discuss it with you.
Never hassle, Councilwoman. There's always second reading, but it's certainly the council's prerogative.
Yeah.
Are we,
Yes, Vice Mayor. Turn on your mic.
it's on. Where are we on the agenda? It seemed like we jumped from removing, replacing, item P, item S. And
City manager wanted to do an addendum before we move to citizens forum, and we are going to move on to citizens forum as we speak.
So, citizens forum is before consent agenda. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. So can we follow the consent agenda?
Sure. We have to follow the agenda.
Follow the agenda.
That is correct, Vice Mayor. Yes, and I thank you. Yes, and I need to explain the reason why I believe that the citizens forum should be put up front. Many residents that would like to speak. Sometimes our meetings ends at 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't think it's fair for our residents who want to speak their mind, who wants to voice their concern, to wait that long throughout the agenda. That is why we have moved the citizen forum to the beginning of our agenda. Therefore, we will now open citizens forum for those who wishes to speak.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Actually, I don't like the idea because I love to see my citizens at 1 o'clock in the morning while I'm sitting here. So once it's citizens forum is done, it's an invitation to ask everybody just to leave and just leave just the 5 of us up here. And probably
No.
Annie will stay and a couple of them will
They will stay. We don't want to penalize them just because they want to voice their concerns.
No problem.
For them to stay here for hours. And if they wishes to stay, of course, they're welcome. And I believe all those citizens that wishes to participate in our meetings shall stay to the end.
So how many minutes we giving each person?
2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay.
For those who wishes to speak, please come forward.
Good evening. I'm Frank Woland, 12934 Banyan Road. First of all, I want to sincerely thank all of you for making Citizens Forum at the front of the agenda instead of at the back of the agenda, because you have made a statement. You've said, we're going to put the people first. And I really do thank you. My family thanks you, because I'm going to leave and go home and have dinner. And it's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I only wanted to speak about one item, but 2 minutes now or 2 minutes later won't make any difference, and I've used one of them already.
Go ahead, Mr.
So I'll do it in 1 minute. I'm going to talk to you about tab G, the Spine Road. I've already given you all a copy of the traffic report that I had done, which is not a traffic study. And for the record, and so the record is clear, our city has never done a traffic study. And I think that planning staff will back that up. We have never done a traffic study of the intersection of 151st and Biscayne. And I think you need to do that before, instead of making it as a condition at some time in the future that you're going to talk about it, you need to do that before you approve any kind of roads on the Biscayne Landing site. You really do need a thorough, comprehensive traffic study that the city does, not the developer's traffic study, our traffic study. Now, the county is going to put a transportation hub at the corner of 151st and Biscayne. I suspect the manager may know about this. Other people may know about it. The county has announced its plans to do that. How is that going to affect what we're doing? Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Mayor Woland.
Richard Ennis, 13030 Northeast 10th Avenue. The only thing that stimulated me to get up here to speak is the fact that Citizens Forum was placed before the agenda, which is idiotic. The only reason people will speak at Citizens Forum is after you've gone through the agenda and there's items to discuss and you've been stimulated. But if you're going to talk first about nothing, it doesn't make any sense. I think the Citizens Forum should be placed back where it was. Let people who, if people want to come to the meetings, they need to sit out through the meeting, just like the council and the mayor and the city manager and the clerk and the city attorney and the deputy city manager has to do, and not just get up and say something and leave, like our former mayor Wolin, who just went home to have dinner. Have dinner before you come here, or make sure eat a cookie outside with a cup of coffee. It's no sense to have Citizens Forum at this position in the evening. Thank you.
Good evening to the entire board and Madam Mayor. My name is Newton Sandin, President and CEO of OIC of South Florida. We're a community-based job training organization.
Sophia Hall, Vice Principal at Turner Tech Adult Education.
We represent a consortium of trainers that are providing vocational training for the Biscayne Landings project. We just simply want to give you an update on how things are going. To date, we've enrolled a little under 100 people for the training, have successfully graduated about 32 folks with that training, and we're hopeful that we'll continue with that effort. The one observation that we have is the opportunity for people to be able to get jobs with that training. Our founder 60 years ago used to say that aspiration without preparation leads to frustration. And we want to make sure we have an opportunity as we train these folks to get them jobs. And our organizations collectively in a partnership with the school board will continue to do that. And we're just in support of anything that could move the agenda forward to get the development up. Because it's one thing for the city residents to have an aesthetic appreciation for the development. But if we can get jobs for our folks, we're all in support of that. And we want you to know that you have a partner that's advocating for that effort to get our people some training and job opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Donna Struthers, 844 Northeast 122nd Street. Usually I walk up here to the meetings. I'm here actually to speak with you about the library and your previous and continued support and hopeful investment in the library. I've been volunteering there for the last 2 to 3 months, and it's been very enlightening to me to see how busy the library actually is. That place is packed with people almost all day long. In fact, they were very happy when I showed up today because there were so many people needing help at the computer stations and all of that, help with printing. We have an excellent staff there who helps way more than many other folks in different libraries, and our people have a wide range of needs when they come into the library. It serves people of all different walks of life here in our city, folks that maybe are coming in to get books to use when they go traveling on a cruise to the Greek Isles or something. That must be nice. Other people applying for jobs. I saw somebody the other day applying for a job at, I believe, probably the new North Miami Whole Foods store. Other people that are taking classes in nursing and really don't have much of an idea of how to use a computer, but they're still forced to do their classwork on computers, and they really need help just trying to print things out. The students need help printing. One might think that a 3rd or 4th grader knows how to use a computer. They don't. They really need a lot of help. And apparently at school, they don't have that much time to get onto the computer. They have to ride buses into school. The library is not open there, or the school is not even open any time before or after. So there's not any additional time for the kids to use the computer, and they come over into the library. So I just want to ask you, thank you, and ask you for more support, more investment in the library. The place is highly used by everybody, and we're still not in great economic times, so would be very helpful if we can try to support the library even more.
Thank you.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nom c'est Jean Rebé Février.
Can we have someone to translate, please?
J'ai besoin de monde pour interpréter pour moi.
Tontimon Papi, interpreter Vinny Konya, so he can interpret. I just indicated that our interpreter is going to come. Wait 1 minute, please. The interpreter is going to come up to interpret for him.
Louis.
Okay. Moi j'étais dans débat nom déjà nom c'est Jean Février, moi j'étais dans 400 Nord-Ouest 129 Street, North Miami.
My name is John Février. I'm living in 400 Northeast.
Northwest.
Northwest. 129th Street.
Et complètement gagné et je dis à soya c'est pour utilité bill là qui fait moi-même venir parler là à soya.
Thank you. I'm here tonight for the utility bill. That's what I'm here to. I have a complaint.
Et chaque fois moi recevoir bill là, me venir dans city pour me payer.
Anytime I receive the bill and I come to the office to pay the bill,
me toujours joindre l'autre 3 ou bien 4 mois encore qui en bas en puis pour me toujours à payer.
I still have another 4 or 3 more months behind. I still have to keep paying.
Je recevoir bill juillet, août, septembre, octobre, novembre, décembre, janvier, février, je recevoir un bill.
I don't. Yes, sir. I don't receive my bill until January and February. I receive a bill.
Bill la vini $1,002.
The bill was $1,002.
Vini, m'paye moitié la dernière, et puis m'paye reste là.
First time I came, I paid half of it, and I came back to pay the balance.
Mars ou avril, moi c'est bon l'autre bill encore, presque $400 pour me payer encore.
March and April, I received another bill, $400 to pay again.
M'vini dans city a, m'vini discuter ça, yo dit m'pa besoin fatigué, c'est un bill qui toujours est en bas dans city a et pas fatigué, puis il a fait arrangement pour moi-même.
When I came there, he told me, no problem, we will have an arrangement around.
M'paye moi ça devient m'joindre d'autres bill encore $532 encore pour me payer.
I paid it, and this coming month I have another bill for $500 to pay.
Dolens moi dans city a égal m'tavle pour staff là t'a fait arrangement pour moi parce que payer trop bill parce que bill ça qui est en bas tout le temps yo dit city a et gain computer et pas fonctionner, c'est ça fait gain 3 mois arrêté
à la fin parce que t'en arrivé rapidement fait
oui ben c'est m'ta besoin connaître pour qui raison qui fait tout le temps ces gon bagay qui en bas m'a payer en bas si yo t'a fait arrangement pour me payer exactement chaque 3 mois puis yo vrai bill là moi pour me payer pour me pas taguer en bas.
Merci.
Okay,
merci.
So, well, I would like to have an arrangement and to know why I have to pay all these bills.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Citizen Forum is now closed. Please come forward.
Yeah, my name is Iso Modi. I don't live in the city of North Miami, but the reason why I'm here tonight is like because of maybe 1 month ago I received a letter from the city of North Miami, and the letter they said that they're talking about the 149 Northeast 49 where I live, which is part of unincorporated Dade County. They said they want to annex, that part. I don't know if it's the right time, if it's going to be after. I don't know if it's the right time to discuss it. I don't know. That's the reason why I'm here tonight. It's something myself I will not entertain. I will not I'm not saying, the city of North Miami is not good, but I know I've been living here for 20 years. I know I've always heard of especially for the bills, the water bills, the people of the city of North Miami are paying. I'm happy, with where I'm living right now. I mean, what I'm paying right now. I don't think I want to join the city of North Miami. This is one of the reasons. Thank you.
Explain. His item will be up.
Good evening, Council. My name is Howard Tonkin. I live at 12600 Griffin Boulevard. I'm here to speak about the District 3 funding on 11.R. We have in our neighborhood in Griffin Estates area, we have 7.3 acres of green space that's not really being taken care of by the city. At the same time, you have the slash pine, which is the native tree of this area, which is approaching extinction. There's 2% of those trees left in South Florida, and you have an opportunity to plant these trees and help save this species of tree. There's 2% of them left. They're on the endangered species list and in decline. At the same time, we're attempting to gentrify our neighborhood, and the fastest way and the best way to improve quality of life, pollution, shade, and to help the city is to plant trees. This is what economically raises a neighborhood, and aesthetically and quality of life helps the area. Thank you.
I'm China Lucian. I live at 12.
You can put the mic down. Thank
All
you.
right. Are you telling me that I'm a little on the short side? I live at 12880 Griffin. We're actually here representing Griffin Park Estates Neighborhood Association. In support of Councilman Biename, I'm also here about R. Just to kind of add what Mr. Tonkin has said, I've been living in this house for 2 years, and I have to tell you, done are the days when I was a kid and my mom made us get dressed up when somebody new moved into the neighborhood, and we knocked on the door and brought them brownies or dinner and introduced ourselves. There's people that lived across the street from me that I didn't even know until about 3 months ago, and we've been living there 2.5 years. Mr. Tonkin, who's a botanist, has really gotten us involved with basically landscaping and indigenous to Florida. It has really brought the community together. It's amazing. And District 3 is a melting pot community, and I think that all of us here today will agree that the city of North Miami, we could learn something from that. I mean, if there's anything that we need is basically for the city to really kind of come together and to really be unified. And I really want to support BNMA in getting some part of this money and basically getting us all talking and getting us really proud to be living in the neighborhoods that we're living in and going out and talking to each other and joining each other in these green spaces. And right now they're basically just 7.3 acres of empty space. So it's just kind of it's more than just planting the trees. It would be basically bringing the community together. So BNMA, we hope you get the money.
Thank you. Thank you. Citizen forums still open.
Good evening, Nanny Montgomery, 2082 Laurel Lane. I'm here to speak against the Citizen Forum starting at the beginning of the meeting. A previous mayor and council proceeded to do this 8 years ago. That was Mayor Kevin Burns. And he did talk to the residents and the people that speak and that come to the meetings requested that it be put back where it was, and it was put back to the end of the meeting after the council spoke, so that you knew what you wanted to discuss with the council, that you could get you hear what this council had to say, and therefore you were able to come up and speak intelligently about the meeting. So I would really appreciate if it went back to the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Citizens Forum is now closed. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
Madam Mayor,
yes.
If you allow me, in terms of Monsieur Jean Février issues, I would like to suggest it to the city manager to provide a staff to address his concern as soon as possible, please. OK? Monsieur Février, City Manager a ba ou yon staff pour capable parler ensemble avec vous de problèmes que vous gagnez.
Mr. Fevrier, the
Okay.
city manager, is going to give you a staff so that they can discuss with you the problems you're having.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you.
I don't know you
Shall
speak
we
that
move
much
on?
in Creole. Proud of you.
Yeah, he didn't speak any Creole, and now he's translating. Amazing, huh? Amazing. Do we have a motion for a consent agenda?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to weigh in on the
We have a
utility
motion.
bills.
We have a motion? You
Well,
wanna talk?
No,
Councilwoman had a
he's-
response
okay.
on the utility bills. I'd like to weigh in on the utility bills before the consent agenda, if I might be allowed.
You might do so at your convenience. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I'll let you.
As we all know, utility bills are just starting to arrive back to back. I believe that if the city was for instance, 6 months late in billing somebody, they should have 6 months to pay that bill. If it's our fault that people are receiving bills to back, I don't think it's fair that we ask our residents or utility bill customers to pay within 45 or 60 days. If it's our fault that they got a bill 3 months, 4 months, 6 months late, whatever it is, I'd like to ask council to give direction to staff that we equal the payment time, make the payment time equal to whatever it was that they were late in receiving their bill. I think it's only fair to the customer.
Thank you. Now, do we have a motion for a consent agenda?
Is there
Shall we move on?
no response or thought on that? I mean,
This is a thought. Let us digest what you just said, and then we'll come back to it,
Okay.
Mr. Galvin.
Madam Mayor?
Can we
this-
move on with the
Yes.
agenda?
My question is, Councilman Galvin asked to move tabs E and F to the regular agenda. I don't know if that was done or not.
When did he ask?
That was what I was
Before.
going to do under consent when we're on consent agenda. I'd like to move tabs E as an elephant, F as in Frank off of the regular agenda, off of the consent agenda and on to the regular agenda. It's on. I can't control the volume in the back of the room. I can lean over and project as much as I want. I'm sorry, guys. I see everybody waving at me in the back. Whoever's controlling the sound booth, please try to control the sound on the mic. But I'd like to move tabs E and F off for discussion.
That's motion, I would second it.
Mr. Clerk?
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Mayor Thundell?
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme? Yes. Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Steril?
Sure.
Item passes 5-0. Item E and F are now on the original agenda.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Do we have a motion for consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
Councilman Galvin? Mayor
Yeah.
Thundell?
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Steril?
Yes.
Measure passes 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We are
So tab,
J.
well, tab E, right? Or you want to do J?
E and
first?
F have been removed.
I think the city manager asked for J
Okay,
to
will
be
do.
right after the
Do.
consent.
A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the attached clean water facilities plan addendum to the city of North Miami sanitary sewer master plan and second cycle sanitary sewer evaluation survey, open parentheses, facilities plan, close parentheses, and further authorizing the city manager and city attorney to do all things necessary to implement the facilities plan in order to obtain available funding from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection State Revolving Fund, SRF, in accordance with Florida law, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, we have a presenter from Black and Beach, if we may.
Good afternoon, Mayor Council. Aleem Ghani, Public Works Director. This item actually is the application on behalf of the City of North Miami's utility for the sanitary sewer system. Don't let the name or the title fool you. It's the Clean Water Infrastructure Improvements. Under the Clean Water Act, it means actually sanitary sewer systems. And with that, I would like to present Tom Bryant, one of our consultants who actually did the application on behalf of the city.
Good evening. I'm Tom Bryant with Black & Veatch. I reside in Tallahassee, Florida. And I've been working with the city about 3 years on these funding programs. And as you can see, Aleem has engaged several consultants, CDM Smith, Hazen and Sawyer, Black & Veatch, and as well as the Department of Environmental Protection, State Revolving Fund, to help him improve his infrastructure. You're already engaged with the DEP in one program to improve your Windsong plant, and I noticed the award or the proclamation tonight on the clean water, and so Aleem is trying very hard to stay in front of the regulatory requirements, customer requirements, and so forth to keep his water clean, pristine, and meet requirements. And so that's on the drinking water side. Tonight we're talking about the clean water side. And I first want to say that this program is through the DEP and it's low interest funding. Most utilities fund their programs through bonds, but the State Revolving Fund has a very low interest rate. And I want to commend your city manager and your public works director for turning over every stone to find money to bring into this community to help offset rates, to keep rates low. Now, I know that one gentleman had a high rate for some reason, but overall your rates are very low in this community in comparison to the rest of the state. And the reason that is because you have people like Stephen and Aleem out there at every convention. When I show up at a convention, there they are. They're already talking to the regulatory people, and they go to D.C., they go to the Capitol on Miami Days, and they talk to the representatives, and they've made great contacts at the DEP and the funding program, and that makes a huge difference. It makes my job easy when the client, the community, gets engaged in these programs. And your interest rate right now is about 1.5%, and I think it's because of these relationships that you guys have built. And so I commend these two men, as well as your finance director. So this program is administered by the Florida Administrative Code 62503, and there's a requirement that we go over a few items at this public meeting so that the public understands what you're moving forward with. Those items would be a history, description, environmental effects, comprehensive planning approval, and the estimated project cost and the impact on the users. So this is just the cover sheets on two of the studies that Aleem has engaged over the past years, one of them by CDM Smith and one of them by Hazen and Sawyer. And the engineering name for these are SSES studies, Sanitary Sewer Evaluation Surveys, and an I&I study, inflow and infiltration. Now, why do we study these sewer systems? Because they're only meant to convey wastewater, not groundwater, not surface water, not stormwater. If you allow those waters to enter the system, they rob capacity from the system. They cost you money. You have to spin your pumps and motors. You have to do treatment. You have to add chemicals, all that to treat groundwater, stormwater, which is not necessary. So by correcting these issues, it adds capacity and value to your collection system, to your treatment system. So this is a very worthy cause. Now the DEP knows that because we've already turned in an RFI. You're already slated for funding to a degree on pre-construction activity. So you scored very high compared to the rest of the state. And these two companies, what they did was they took TV cameras and they ran it through your miles and miles of pipe, and they looked at your manholes and the service laterals, and Aleem's kind of the unsung hero because the only thing that you see of this utility system is the water that comes out of the spigot or the yellow fire hydrant. But Aleem is dealing with miles, hundreds of miles of pipe under the streets, collection systems, lift stations, keeping all this stuff working. It's not visible, but it's there. So these people took their smoke testing, TV reports, and so forth, and they wrote a report, and their findings included clay pipe that's broken, brick manholes that are dilapidated from hydrogen sulfide, service laterals that are in poor repair. So it's a 50, 60, 70-year-old system that has greatly exceeded its design life, is what they discovered, and that it must be improved. And they wrote a report around that. They identified the basin by basin that needs improvement. They gave specific details and cost estimates in these reports. And the DEP was very pleased with what they've seen, what Aleem's presented. Now, as I just mentioned, much of your system was built in the 50s, and you do have intrusion of groundwater and surface water. And if it's not taken care of, you'll find yourself under a consent order. The EPA will step in and mandate that you fix these, and they'll fine you. So Aleem is staying ahead of that. Corrective actions included service lateral replacements, main replacements, manhole replacement, force main replacement, lift station replacement. In the next slide, we'll see how they propose to phase that. Part of the requirement 62503 is for us to make sure that your comprehensive plan has reviewed the facility plan and approves it, which they have. I was talking about the unsung hero. He's got 118 miles of gravity sewer, 57 miles of force main, 2,078 lift stations, many of them in disrepair. So he's got to phase the construction. This is a large task. And matter of fact, he's not alone. The rest of the country is right there with him. Aleem is just being very proactive, and city managers supporting him. As a matter of fact, I think he's learned a lot of wastewater terms here. I've been real proud of him. So, so the long-term estimate is roughly $11 million, and Aleem proposes to phase this in as money becomes available and as rates will support it. Very wise. So this is some of the projects that the two consultants came up with. Not going to go into detail, but you can see they've looked at pump station by pump station. They've applied a cost to it, their estimated cost. As you go to the bottom part, the gravity system is very expensive, and there's numerous ways to fix it. There's in situ form, pipe burstings, dig it up and replace it. Aleem has all those under consideration, and he'll bid that accordingly. So, and here's what it's all about, is if we were to take that $11 million and go float a bond at 3.95%, and I believe your rate is actually higher than that, compared to taking this amount of money, the $11 million, and going to the DEP at 1.5%, and I think Aleem and I ran the numbers, it's actually lower than that today. You're going to save about $3.3 million on this project. So call it grant, call it principal forgiveness, or whatever. Those are huge savings that this community will realize, and that helps to steer off rate increases. What you're doing is bringing in outside money, because it really is a federal EPA program where they match state dollars 7-1. And so it's a real win for this community. And those $3.3 million is a job well done for for your staff. This slide just generally goes into the next steps. If tonight you approve the resolution to adopt the facility plan and continue moving into the design and construction of this project, these are just some of the steps that Aleem and his staff will have to take to implement the construction phase of this project. So that concludes it. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Public hearing, any questions?
Yes, ma'am. I have so many questions, yes. And I think that could have answered if I knew about this presentation, if I had the presentation or sit down with you and staff and the city manager, how we usually do it, I would not have the questions now. However, I don't think that we should vote it on this item I'm asking, making a motion to remove this from the agenda because I saw it. Truly, I didn't know exactly what it was about. I thought it was something in-house that we needed to do, we needed to discuss, but I didn't know it was something so much in depth. So I am making a motion to remove this item, sitting down with the city manager and staff or with the consultant, and to know exactly what does it entail and where we're going to find the money, how we're going to do it, how much federal or state will be provided, or if there's a bond. Anyway, a lot of questions that I have. Just to make it short, I'm making a motion to move this item for the next meeting or whenever that staff and the consultant have time to meet.
Is there a second?
With me.
Second.
May we have discussion on this before we vote?
I don't think we're not voting on it. We just remove it. I make a motion to remove it from the agenda
That
for we
means
can.
That means we can't any ask. We have our expert here tonight. I would like to be able to ask just a couple questions.
No, it will be put on a further day when we sit down with the city manager. Then we can discuss it when it comes back on the agenda.
May I finish, Madam Mayor?
Go ahead.
The reason that we move this item, Madam Councilwoman, is to make sure that we as a body, if you agree, but I'm speaking for myself, to be enlightened and more educated on that matter with the city manager, of course, with the consultant as well. Sitting up here asking question about something so valuable and costly to the city, I don't think that it's fair. So I'm sure that whatever the question that we have up here, we will have the chance to sit with the consultant and the city manager.
Our consultant is from out of town. That's
well,
why
hey, we
he
pay him
can-
a lot of money, and I think we should have those questions. That's my concern. So that was my motion.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, there is a feedback. What's going on with the sound tonight? It's not, I know we have new system in place, but there's feedback, echo. Mr. Clerk.
Councilman Bien-Aimé?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Steril?
Yes.
Mayor Dundro?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Measure passes 5-0. Items removed.
Thank you.
Tab J.
Available, Mr. City Manager, anytime for meetings with yourself and the consultant or whomever that's involved in this matter.
We will schedule a day and with all the mayor and council, so when the consultant can come back in town.
Yeah, he said everybody. He said everybody.
Tab E. Tab E. A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute a professional service agreement in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and the Russell Life Skills and Reading Foundation, Inc., to provide spelling and vocabulary improvement classes, language arts, and reading comprehension classes, mentoring, homework assignment assistance, and other community-based social services to young students at no cost to the city of North Miami, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Madam Mayor, I'm going to project so you guys back there work with the sound. The reason I asked that this be pulled is because I didn't understand what the dollar value of this contract is. If there's no charge to the city of North Miami, I'm assuming they're not charging the students, or are they charging the students and their families?
Why don't we listen to the city manager to give us more information? It did says no cost to the city. Can you please go ahead and give us explanation, Mr. City Manager?
Madam Mayor, if it's okay, I do have the representative from Russell Life Skills here, who can come up and better explain this program.
While they're coming up, Madam Mayor, Councilman, I know you have been here longer than I am, but we have this program for a very long time that has been taking place in the Sunkist Grove area. This is a great partner to the city. It has not been costing us any money, nor the citizens of the city of North Miami. So again, I really appreciate your service to the students in the city of North Miami, and it had been helping a lot.
Yes, it has.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, good evening. My name is Pauline Doyley. I'm Director of Programs at the Russell Life Skills and Reading Foundation. We've been in the city of North Miami since 2005, providing after-school reading program for the kids. We have been very successful. Most of the kids that come to the program, they're very, very low, and we employ certified teachers to work with these children. We have about 30 to 50 kids attending the program, which starts in September and ends in May. Was started by Twan Russell. He was Miami Dolphins linebacker, and he just wanted to give back to the city, and he started the program with his mother. She's since passed. She was also an educator. There is no cost to the city of Miami. We do not charge the children. The supplies are free. We provide all the books. The cost is about $40,000 to us, and that's basically what we do.
If I might. Very familiar with Twan Russell's career with the Dolphins. I'm a season ticket holder. I know he was a Miami Hurricane. Go you.
Yes.
How do you pay for all this if it doesn't cost the residents anything and it doesn't cost us anything?
Fundraising. Do a lot of fundraising and grants. We go out for grants.
Okay. If that little bit of information had been provided in our packet, I wouldn't have had to ask any questions. I know, as the councilwoman said, you've been there for years, but I work for a nonprofit myself, and a little bell just went off, and I went, wait, if it doesn't charge us and they don't charge the residents, how do they? Thank you for the clarification. No further questions, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes. Second.
Okay. Mr. City Clerk.
Councilman Galvin.
Yes.
Mayor Thundro.
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme.
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Steril. Yes. Measure passes 5-0.
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Tab F, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute an intra-local agreement between Miami-Dade County and the city of North Miami in substantially the attached form for the delegation of solid waste collection authority of an area annexed from unincorporated Miami-Dade County to the city of North Miami, otherwise known as Area 3, in accordance with the Code of Miami-Dade County and City of North Miami Resolutions number R-2011-150 and number R-2013-6, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor and Vice Mayor and Council, recently Area 3 was annexed into the city of North Miami. Under Miami-Dade County ordinance, after that annexation, we must, through resolution, transfer the responsibility of picking up the trash and disposal as well as recycling through resolution, so that now those customers would be the city of North Miami's customers. And that's the purpose of this resolution.
Question.
Go ahead.
Those that we call customers are only residential, no commercials.
That's correct.
Okay.
Area 3 is just residential.
Just for the record.
Do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, if I might. The reason I asked that this be pulled off, there was no mention of Recycle Bank and our contract with them. I'm very unclear. Does the city of North Miami still have a contract directly with Recycle Bank, or is Recycle Bank now working in tandem with Waste Pro?
We currently have a recycling contract with Waste Management. All of our both recycle and our regular trash is picked up by Waste Pro. But then Waste Management, our current contract, disposes of our disposes our recyclables.
What happened to our contract with Recycle Bank when they were giving rewards for recycling and all of that? What happened to that?
I'll have Mr. Gotti address that.
Aleem Ghani, Public Works Director. That contract still exists. Actually, it's coming up for renewal within the next few months. And it is correct that WastePro is working with Recycle Bank. The program is not running efficiently right now. I just want to make a few corrections on it. What has happened is that the individual scale system, as was promised with Recycle Bank, there was some issues. Those have been, there's a system in place where they're averaging the number of points per household. So that has been going back and forth. So the city now is working with WastePro and Recycle Bank in awarding those points, until the contract expires.
Does that mean we're going to have an RFP out for other companies that would like to take over this contract?
Tentatively, that's what we're looking at right now before the contract expires.
In the meantime, does this, what we're approving tonight, also apply to recycling programs too? It just was nowhere mentioned. It mentioned trash pickup, didn't mention recycling pickup.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, it's all the recycling. It's all the services attributed to solid waste pickup, which is the bulk trash, the regular trash pickup, and the recycling program. The area consists of about 65 multifamily and residential units. They're all serviced by Miami-Dade County Solid Waste Department. The city of North Miami now is, because of the annexation, is taking over all its services, and it falls under our accounting system.
I just was making sure we didn't approve their garbage pickup and then forget about their recycling, and then recycling's piling up in the streets. So
No.
you've answered my question.
Everything falls under this Public Works Department again, and Miami-Dade County actually wanted a resolution in order to approve the city taking over all the services.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome, Vice Mayor.
The city manager mentioned earlier about waste management. Was the mishap, or you mean WastePro?
We have a contract. It's just WastePro picks it up. It's Waste Management that
Actually doing the
actually
work.
does the recycling. So it's taken from one location to another location.
So how do we end up doing? Waste Management has a contract with WastePro, or Waste Management has a contract with us?
Waste Management has a contract with us for the recycling of that material.
I never heard. I don't
Yes.
remember that. Did we discuss that up here? Or is it something?
It was already an existing contract. Remember, WastePro is just, they pick up the service.
Okay.
So once it's picked up, our actual garbage goes to one location, and the recyclables go to another location.
So when you said the recycling will come before us, is it what now you're gonna separate it as a different pickup or different?
It's just the collection of the disposable of that. So in other words, WastePro is our hauler.
It will remain as
and
that
they
until
will remain
then.
as our hauler. It's just where
It will drop off.
where it's dropped off
So
at.
that's what will come before us.
That's what
for
will
the entire
become.
city, or for that portion of the city area.
For the entire city.
Okay, when is it coming up before us?
We're preparing it now
Okay.
because that contract is ended. So staff is preparing all the data to bring before council.
Thank you. Councilman Geneme, you wanted to speak as well? No? Anybody move for motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes. How come I'm going first on everything? You're supposed to rotate.
Your name, the rotation is off. That's why. So
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
bouncing back in. Mayor Thundro?
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Sterritt.
How come I'm last?
Because that's the rotation.
But you're first in our hearts.
Measure passes 5-0. Tab G is a quasi-judicial matter. If anyone wishes to be heard on Tab G, may you please stand up so you can be sworn.
Oh, this time. G.
G is in girl.
G.
We're going to follow the order now.
No.
Thank you.
Don't, we got it. G, you said?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For the 10,
Okay.
that's oh, okay. The 10 individuals who are standing, may you please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Mayor, you may proceed.
I didn't hear all of them.
Mayor, if I may, since this was a quasi-judicial matter, I just want to ask whether any of the councils have had any ex parte communication with the applicant as we...
Yes. Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Just for the record.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
That's G. Open forum? Public hearing is open?
What is it,
You,
Discussion.
they want to be heard first.
Yeah.
So let us hear from those who are concerned about that.
Those of you who raised your right hand to be heard, you can form a
on this
line.
item, please come in.
Maybe they don't have a concern.
Maybe
they just in
there's no
case.
concern. Should we open public hearing? No? All right. Roll call.
We have not moved the item. I move the item as it is on the agenda. If
And
I
I
have a chance
second
to
it.
see the agenda, let me see.
Discussion.
Discussion, I have some discussion.
Mhm.
Yes. I did have a discussion with the developer, and personally, I'm not comfortable with this spine road the way it is. My largest concern has been the fact that we have a tremendous development and the egress onto 150.
I'm sorry, I have to read the title of the resolution.
Okay.
Okay. A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the amended conditional use permit for the precise plan constituting phase 1 of the Biscayne Landing Master Plan in substantially the attached form, and in accordance with Article 3, Section 3-405 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Land Development Regulations, for the installment of a new spine road to serve the future mixed-use development on the property, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
May I continue? Okay.
Sure, it was moved in second.
Okay. I've had, I think, 2 conversations with the developer, and I expressed my concerns that I'm very concerned. This is a spine road. It's already there. I don't see how we have a lease and don't tell our developer, you can't put a road in. That being said, the egress onto 151st Street, we're talking traffic, we're talking congestion by the schools, and right now where the exit or entrance of the spine road on 151st Street, it is a left turn not far from Biscayne Boulevard. It is a left turn going out across traffic and in front of oncoming traffic. And I told the developer I really was uncomfortable allowing that unless they could do something about providing us with a traffic signal. Otherwise, you are going to have a mess. The developer has come back. They listened to my request, and they have agreed to a condition that at such time that a traffic light is needed, which would be determined by a traffic study, they have agreed to spend, we discussed about an additional $1 million to add an additional road further east on the northern boundary of the property. So when the cars are making a left, they will have a traffic signal, and they will not be cutting in front of 4 lanes of traffic. They've agreed to that, and I would like tonight, and I've spoken to our planning director, I would like to make that as a 6th condition and also add it to our conditional permit. I believe it's Exhibit B and it's tab T as one of the requirements. I could read it exactly, but at such time that they do agree to add a signal road coming off from that spine road. I would like the council to entertain that. I think that is for the betterment of our community. Right now we are going to have a terrible traffic crisis if we don't have a signal coming out of Biscayne Landing.
No, let's go down to Scott.